Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I totally wasn't staring at the timer, with my mouth open, just not realizing the timer went up. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well. It's currently 7:30 p.m. Central Time. It's time to get warmed up. I forgot to set the thing, and I forgot to. Come on, Cav. There we go. Cool. But yeah, hope you're all having a good one. Today was a long day. Long day. Lots of stuff still to do. I gotta go grocery shopping after stream. Little run at night. It's also weirdly warm in my apartment, despite how cold it should be. Thinking of taking off the sweater. But yeah, hope you're all having a good one so far. If not, well, guess what? We get an hour, a little bit over that, to hang out, to do something that we love. But yeah, the debacle of yesterday, which was, why am I using words like this? Also, I realized I was talking way too close to my mic last stream. I apologize. But the debacle from last stream, where I didn't have enough classes to graduate, is hopefully solved. Yippee, hooray, celebrate. And with classes that shouldn't be too crazy difficult. However, we'll see. Only time can tell with that stuff. And I've learned time and time again not to get my hopes up. But I can still hope. But yeah, today was an all-day ordeal. Woke up at 6:30 and haven't really stopped doing things until now. I would have preferred a lunch break or something, But it's the finals, it's the end of the semester. It's going to be like this, and thankfully, it's not as bad as previous semesters. As you'll note, we're not taking off any days. In fact, I only plan on taking off Friday this week. And I have a final due tomorrow and the next day. But we're just like that. So, in fact, I'm trying to get as much stream time, as much drawing time as I can before inevitably we head off. Study abroad for the winter. Which, I'm extremely excited, but I will miss streaming. However, I will be drawing. I will be trying my best to draw as frequently as I can over there. And specifically for the sake of, we're just documenting, enjoying it, and just enjoying art, rather than trying to, make pretty testaments to the places I've been, right? I feel like that's a trap I fall under. Just remember, those expectations, Then again, everything's an expectation. When we draw, that's a very, very moot point. But if my expectation is to catalog the moment by drawing, then that's an expectation, right? I expect to be able to do that with drawing. However, generally, it seems like a very subjective. Have I cataloged the moment? Yes, I guess. I don't know. I feel like when we start our streams, I start off with the art philosophy, or just thinking about things in general, and then we kind of get a bit more chillaxed in the stream. But that's also because people join later in, so who knows? We do have one viewer. I'm pretty sure it's me, though. How do I know? Because I either know if we have one viewer or that's it. So to the one viewer, if you are actually a person here, I don't know. Or if it's just me, hello, hope you're doing well. If it is me, what's up, man? Also, I have quite a bit of a headache, which sucks because we're going to be drawing ellipses this stream. With freehand, ugh. Sure, we've been doing that for the past several hundred days. I could say several hundred now. We've been doing that for the past several hundred days, but that doesn't mean I am at all excited to draw ellipses. And I remember specifically last stream I said, we'll save that for tomorrow, Kavel. And indeed, we did. And it upsets me. I have that pinging feeling, that thought inside of my head saying, do a redo. Do the roar. Actually, I'm going to move my mic real quick. but I have a much better thought occurring in my head. I'm gonna move my mic a lot, actually. Jeez, I'm sorry. There we go. Um, which is, it's just a demo. I want to be done with Drawbox. It's just a demo. Not that like I shouldn't give effort. I am definitely acknowledging places where I failed. And sure, maybe doing, and I'll even maybe defend this a little bit. Maybe doing a redo helps us discover more ways we have failed. But there definitely does come a point of diminishing return. Hence why we don't do redos, or we shouldn't. Um, but yeah, I'm just like, hey, I want to finish Drawbox. Maybe our one viewer, which is probably me, also wants us to finish Drawbox. So let's be reasonable. Also, I need to slow down. I'm too excited. I'm in a better mood today as opposed to yesterday. That headache's kind of killer though. But I get to sleep in tomorrow. Oh, that's gonna be wonderful. Ay, ay, ay. Well, that happened. Lots of ellipses this warm up. Lots and lots. We'll do an organic form for the funsies. Oh, that was nice. I may be rushing a bit more than I intend because I want to. I'm weirdly hot right now, which is stupid because it's like almost freezing outside. Um, hmm. Not sure how I feel about that one. But we need to specifically be warming up large ellipses as well. Probably need some more ghosting there. Do we have any room over here? How about here? Yeah. In fact, let's warm up with the ballpoint because I have not drawn an ellipse with this yet, and I don't think our first time should be. And that's why you should warm up. Holy crap, that was bad. Not that you guys can see it, but it was better. Ballpoint definitely benefits from a faster stroke, but that, just so it's more confident. You could see wobbles more with this. More. we'll do a line of large ellipses and then call it. No, we'll call it here. So yeah, we're gonna do 2 minutes. Oh, perfect timing. We're gonna do 2 minutes of ads, all that good stuff. Not really much to add. We'll come back, continue our work on the barrel demo. So be right back, guys. I think is that the end of ad break? I think so. Cool. So, we're returning to our barrel demo. Not a huge fan of this demo, mainly because it's doing. I don't know. It's a lot. There's a lot of things happening. I'm also just not happy with my performance on it so far. I want to redo it. Give me another shot. I want to. Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about why I want to redo it. I want to redo this. Skyrim music, dude. Because we have so much room to work with on the page. You guys can barely see it. Let's try to fix the camera real quick. There we go. There's so much more room left on the page, and I made everything so isometric. Things converge, but like I would rather it be more convergent, a little bit more foreshortened. I'm happy with the accuracy. I don't like how square this face is. I made this too long, which would have been fixed if I just foreshortened this a little bit more. I'm a hater. Also, here, let me try to fix whatever my camera is doing that causes this. I have an idea. Pause. Oh, why do you do that? Not gonna lie, guys, I just messed up all of my settings. I hit the reset button, and that just killed everything. That was a bad idea. The focus is off, the brightness is off. We gotta fix this. This is bad. Yo, what's up, Rise? Dude, I just messed up all of my settings. How are you doing? I'm doing okay. Much better than yesterday. How about you? Dude, how do I fix these settings? It's so overexposed. Oh, oh god. It's so bad, guys. Oh, I do not know how to fix all of this. Oh my god. What is going on? Oh, did I close it? I'm stupid. Huge. Good to hear, good to hear. Please, Anchor. Why do your cameras suck? I'm getting a new camera and I can't wait. I'm so excited. Sorry for the delay, everybody. I should add. This is not how I intended this to go. And now the camera won't zoom. That's not good. Oh, wait. Nope. Okay. I was just doing it wrong. That's always good to see. You feeling good about your finals? I didn't realize I could tilt it. I should have done that. It's epic. Oh wait, that's how I lowered the exposure? This whole time it's right there? That looks horrible. I bump up the brightness. Oh, that looks horrible. Ah, huge. Good to hear. Oh, it looks so crusty now. Is that because I dropped the exposure so much? Why are video settings so hard? Ugh. Okay, wait, if I lower the contrast, that'll help. And then I bump up the gamma, actually. That does nothing cool. Dude, these settings suck. Gamma literally does nothing. Oh, how's my hand look in this? Oh wait, that's actually like crazy nice. Oh my god. What have I done? Here, wait, guys. This is absurd what's going on with the camera. I have to show this. Here, wait. Dude. Oh, it's so broken. This is not what I had in plan for today's stream. Look what happens when I put my hand in there. Or it's like, okay, wait, let me see if it's the focus. I'm like a desk away from my table, by the way, too. I hope you... Oh, no. Okay, there's our focus. White balance is fixed. Was it my gamma that did this? Oh God. Thanks. Why? Okay, yeah, here, wait, watch this. Oh, it didn't do it this time? Oh yeah, it did. It did. Why does it do this? I can't figure, that's the one thing I've been trying to figure out with this stupid camera for so long. Why it does this. All of my settings have auto turned off. Is it the exposure that does this? Like, I don't... Uh-oh. Well, I kind of like this. I'm going to bump up the brightness a little bit. And we're going to rock with this, unless it looks horrible. Okay? We cool with that? I'm cool with this. As long as you guys are. But, like, the moment I do this... Why? Why, though? Okay, wait. Let's reason this out. When I put my white-ass hands in frame, it gets brighter. When everything is gone, what happens? It gets brighter. When all the white disappears, it gets brighter. When a little bit of white comes in, it gets darker. What happens if I bring more white in? It evens out. Is it the contrast? Sorry for the delay, guys. We're figuring this out. We're learning about cameras today. That's what this stream is about. No one's watching anyways, so like let's figure out why my camera sucks. That's the goal today. I feel like we're onto something. I'm like a gambler when it comes to my camera. Okay, let's see. So I have a theory that is the no. It's gonna reset the settings when I do this, isn't it? Yep. Oh shoot, someone's watching. Optimize brightness on. Oh. Oh, okay, don't have that on. That breaks things. Don't do that. Nothing is auto. The zoom's messed up, which sucks. I have no idea. I have no idea. Only thing that's not... Whatever. I mean, this looks better than it did before, that's for sure. So I guess we'll stick with that. It's a little bit warm for my liking. Just like, it'll flashbang you guys if things come out of screen. But you know what? We'll stick with that. I'm gonna take a sip of water and we'll get started. Sorry for the delay. Oh, what the hell? Well, now I'm actually just curious. What? It's when I googled it, it said it's white balance, but I turned the white balance off. This is peculiar. Well, I don't care. We got to get started. So, barrel of fun. Yeah. How long was that little? Oh, that was like 10 minutes of me just doing that. Great. But yeah, so barrel. We're gonna continue drawing the barrel as one does with barrels. My problem is I want to redo it, but we're not gonna do that because come on. Our next step. Wait, one more check. Ah, no! I use them out. Stop. This camera sucks. Okay. Oh. Okay. Dude, this is up there in the scuff streams. Hopefully Rise stopped watching. Cause that was bad. that was rough. Okay. Come on, focus up, Cav. Okay, so what we're gonna continue with here is there's that kind of whooshy whoosh effect. We're going to be continuing with the bottom part of the barrel because I kind of want to just hold off. Oh no, we'll do the inner cube, which I need to go check that we're on the same path as uncomfortable. Yeah, we'll do the inner cube now. Which it didn't really seem like he had a metric. He kind of just arbitrarily defined it based off the reference. So we'll do the same. It's the exact same as like the hump, right? How big will that hump be? And I say right here. I don't want a big curve, even though there's a barrel. We'll do something like this. Height-wise. I seemed a bit. Watch the whole time. No! In the stream that you're here, and I'm just messing everything up. Wait, why am I doing this? I need to do it this way. Is there an easier way of doing this? I should have started down here. That would help me the most, but we'll live. Ah, dang it, we're gonna have another accidental line. How does it happen so frequently with us? Lines have such a tendency to intersect each other, it's annoying. They need to stop doing that. Oh yeah, remember, that was our big takeaway last time. This line and this line are going to be very close to being parallel. So we can kind of help that, get that to help us inference where this line should begin and end. Like so. Now I should say, if anyone's watching who doesn't know what we're doing, not all lines are going to be, lines will only be parallel in perspective on the 2D page if they're the same line. But if you have something converging and they're slightly different positions, then, or like, you have a non-isometric VP that isn't at infinity. And so long as you have lines in different places, they'll have different slopes. No parallel lines unless the VP's at infinity. And this is parallel lines on the 2D page. Lines can be parallel in 3D space, but not parallel on the 2D page because they converge. So we're doing a projection from a 3D world, the world inside the drawing, to our 2D world, which is the paper. So just as things get smaller to us because of the inverse square law, I guess, I'm not sure if that's like the actual name of it. But there are no parallel lines in this drawing. Everything converges. Just those VPs are pretty far away. Nice, nice. Oh wait, why am I measuring this? We could just draw the line between them. Insanity check, that looks pretty good. Maybe I should have done a larger bulge. We'll see. The box is slightly longer than I wanted it to be. The bulging barrel. Sounds like a beer tavern in a D&D game. The bulging barrel. Oh, did uncomfortable? Oh. Oh. Oops. I thought he drew lines between these, but no, he didn't. I'm an idiot. Okay, well. It doesn't really matter. Construction's a construction. I was like, in my head, I was like, why would he draw a line there? Well, because he didn't. And you can just simply project it like a dish. Nice. Only did one stupid that time. That line did not need to be drawn. Oh, budge. That is not right. But no, how did I manage that? How did I manage that? Was I high? Was I smoking? What the hell? Oh, man. Well, that sucks. That's going to make me very angry. That is mighty unfortunate. Well, too bad you guys can't see it. There we go. I threw off this line over here. That's painful. Screw it. We do a new one. I don't care. Yeah, boy. So, lessons learned before we do this new one. Bigger box. More ambitious, bigger box. Actually square this time. For the interior here, since we only need a fourth, we don't need to subdivide that much. Don't project this line back over here. I liked the orientation of the box here a lot. Make it foreshortened more. Not crazy, but more. Because this was just a pain. It wasn't isometric, but it was a pain. So let's try it again. Let's do it. So, back to the barrel. I keep this one next to me. To gauge. This should be quite large. Larger than we think it should be. Thankfully, it's kind of constrained by its length rather than height. So we can get pretty silly with the height. In fact, I'd wager it should take up almost 2/3 of the page. And really, it doesn't matter what the initial Y is up here, except for the width. So this should be quite long. Start right here. We're going to go all the way over here. All the way over here. The top. And we can guesstimate. Yep, that'll have enough room. We want this line closest to us from the box to be orthogonal to the page, just to make things look pretty. Not really any reasoning beyond that. I said I want to take up a majority of the page, so somewhere over here. It's actually good if this line is a lot longer than this one, so we talked about that last time though. I'm excited. Let's do this one. We'll actually use the big ruler for that. Osh. No way. That's 3.25. This one is 3.5. Okay, so it's slightly longer. Not as long as I wanted though, which is a bit unfortunate. It's actually important though, because our original one maintained a similar ratio, and somehow we made this too long. So yeah, this felt square, but this, actually in hindsight, it feels rather square. But it's probably because that square we put on the center. So I would still want to foreshorten it a bit if we can. And so since we know that we want this one, this is the longer side, that means this side, the VP relative to this line, has to be closer than the VP's distance from this one, the end of that line. I.e., this one is more foreshortened. So I would rather establish this one and how close it is first, and then work around with that one. Now, we don't want a crazy foreshortening. I'm actually going to work backwards with my finger and set my finger as the VP. The problem is, now that we have a gigantic box, our VPs do just naturally need to be further away. Because since our subject is bigger and we don't want our subject to be that foreshortened, we need to increase the distance. The little dings in this song remind me of Minecraft XP noises. So this definitely doesn't feel square. Let's see why. Which face feels too long? This edge feels too long. So that means we should make this one longer because we want to be a bit more highly foreshortened this time around. It's a dangerous game though, because we could easily distort ourselves too much. That could be a big issue. So currently we're about right here. Maybe this box is too big. It feels a little bit more square, but I still feel like we have to keep working at that VP. But that feels like crazy foreshortened. So maybe today I'm learning why we use smaller subjects. Jeez. That's just way too foreshortened. Yeah, let's do a smaller subject. That's a bit too much. I didn't even consider that, so that's a lesson learned for me today. Okay. So we'll want to place it more in the center this time. Smaller subject. So a little bit more of the top of it. Okay. So if we make this line shorter, then we're forcing it to this is a little bit over 2.75. It's like 2 and 6 or 7. That's like 15 sixteenths. No, 13 sixteenths. So okay guys, so we got to make it no, I'm kidding. Not going to be that accurate. Does this also have the no, okay, it just looks like it. The closer we make them to equal, the better we'll fare. Yeah, we want to use be orthogonal to the page. Okay, this will make our lives a little bit easier. Let's start making that square now. Intuitively. Oof. We can kind of cheat because we made this orthogonal so we can Maybe making this one longer and this one shorter is the better idea. Because if one of them has to be foreshortened, then I'd rather it be this one, in all honesty. Makes the game we're playing a little bit easier. That feels good. In fact, that's the first one that feels like I might be overdoing it, which is nice. So we'll go here and see what that looks like. We're kind of just experimenting with squares now. That face feels a bit too long. We're quite foreshortened down here now. Means all subsequent lines, especially over here now. All subsequent lines are going to be pretty close. No way is the VP that close. Yeah, this is just feeling a little bit too foreshortened for my liking. Especially looking at what Uncomfortable did. Yeah. So let's try the yeah, let's try the alternative. See if that gives us something. So yeah, we want to make this line shorter than this line. Why? Why? I don't get that. Because that means, we had to foreshorten. Let me double triple check my. This is 2.75 practically. This is a little only. No, it's almost 3. Both of those margin of error of like a 16th, I guess. But like, if this one has that far away of a VP, well, it's because we're starting with this one. Yeah, why would the VP over here be further or closer than the one over here? That's the whole spiel I had earlier. Because that was the only way for it to feel square. What's the difference? Because if this line is longer on the page, or this one is longer, that means this line needs to feel just as long, which means the VP should be closer, yet it isn't. Why? If this was like 1 inch, if this was half, what would we need to do to make this feel square? Well, this line, yeah, we would need to. move the VP really close over there. Like if I was just going to guesstimate, this has the same VP. To make it square, we'd need to do something like that. I'll like make my example a bit more concrete. To make that one square. Why did it happen that this VP didn't really need to change in order to be square, and this one did? All we changed in these two instances was the distance from the center we're getting technical. The only thing that varied between these was this distance, and because of that, the VPs. If we moved this VP closer, would that have to change to be square? It would have to. Because we assume. So if we had a point right here, and we assume that the VP for this one is right here, that would mean there exists a line like this. And because this is so highly foreshortened, and that line is already longer, that means we need to move this VP where? This to feel square. It's so highly foreshortened, I don't even know. My idea right now is maybe it's somehow tied to the angle. If it was like 180 degrees, or we can't hit that, but let's say like 120. Then here's the maximum line that could happen. And here is the maximum line that could happen. These are parallel. There, sir. Oops. I mean, same thing. That's not technically accurate. These aren't parallel. I should have done a better job of that. Who is it? Okay, so suppose we have two sets of parallel lines. I feel like I'm geometry class again. Ugh. And this is the center of our box. Why did I do this? Why did I draw this? What was I thinking? Oh yeah, this is the maximum they could be, right? Because you can't have a non-parallel line. This is an isometric face of a box. Let's try option 1, where we want to treat this upper line as the line we would like to foreshorten the least. This is the longer line too. If we wanted to turn the system into a square, what would we do? Intuitively, this is the corner of our box. This is the longer line, which means the shorter line needs to be more foreshortened. So it'd be like this. We can't make it a square if we looked this way. We'd still be moving that VP closer. And now if we made oh, yeah, there we are. Okay, I'm slowly piecing it together. So we have this. This I'd say is like say 110 degrees. Now let's have a system that's way more than that. So we have line 1, line 2, line 3, 4. This I'm going to assume that looks like almost half of 90. So we'll say this is 150 approximately. What's going to happen? Can we still only move this to create a square? I mean, yeah. And because it's higher from the corner of the box compared to this one, it has a that doesn't matter. The real factor that matters is this. Because that affects the slope. Or more dramatically affects the slope, I guess. Because if you put this point up here, it would only be changing like this. Meanwhile, if you put it over here, it would be changing like this. No, both should equally affect the slope, though. Because if you dropped it right here, then you'd have a right triangle. And those both moved the same amount of distances. Oh, my head hurts. I think I got a little bit more of it now. Because we decided, use the blue pen to kind of like indicate this is my decision. It's a heuristic, and I think it's correct, though. Since, you know, this was, let's see, a parallel line would be like this, right? That's the maximum possible line that we could have created, but instead we chose this one. We created this one. So that forced this, because originally, you know, to create a square, then all we needed to do is like something like this or something, I don't know. But now since we did this, my theory is that this VP has to grow like much closer because of the small shift in over here. I don't have the math. Oh goodness, just bumped my mic, I apologize. I don't have the math to prove that, but I feel it in my heart. I'm trying to remember from when I did the sphere or the cylinder calculator how we make a square. A square is made like this. So what does that mean over here? Well, we have our VP down here, our VP down here, or over here. That means there exists a line between them. Why do I put my ruler all the way over there? Come on, Cav. Let's see, the closest is actually to there. And so that means the closest point is right here. I'm onto something. We know that these are orthogonal. Holy moly, guys, wait. Or perpendicular. I need to stop saying orthogonal. And then we chose... no way. And then we chose where we would intersect. Wait, I want to... okay, wait, this is cool. We're on a full side tangent now, but I'm totally enjoying this because this is something I've been meaning to figure out, and this just gives me a great excuse to figure it out. So, how do we make the square side of a box? This is going to be some weird stuff. Bear with me. Say we have a box. Let's use some nicer measurements this time. We'll do 3 inches right here. Pre-roll ads are on. Oh yeah, I did have like that whole section. We'll do 2.5 inches right here. And 4 inches over here. A little bit over that, who cares? Well, do I have another piece of paper that I can use? That's a fresh piece of paper. Who cares? I'll use it. The idea I have is I know how that given some horizon, and a perpendicular line, you can create a square on that line. Like this. Then deciding arbitrarily what you want your next point to be. And then that's a square in perspective. It may look a bit correct by showing it like this. I think so. What if I'm wrong and that just invalidates all of this? There's probably some beautiful math to prove this, but let's just assume that I'm correct for now, which all of this could come toppling down. How can we apply that to our little box here? Well, let's suppose we have a VP here and a VP here. Sound effects are necessary. And so I propose that we draw. Oh, I think my whole thing is wrong. No. We draw a line between them, creating a horizon. Then we draw, because like you can put an orthogonal line anywhere here. So we'll do 3. We'll do 1 right here. We'll do 1 right here. That also happens to go through the center of the box. We'll do 1 right here. So now we start by drawing an arbitrary line. Dude, I'm a mess right now. This is so messy. Okay. We're going to start with the blue one. I guess we should have made this longer. Brick. Wait. We have our VPs, but this exists. So we technically already have this. Oh. And then this. No. This. Oh, it is this red line. Because this is where these two lines meet. It was the red line. Holy. And then, okay. So that means we can draw any line right here. And this one has to go through that. Oh. No, no, no. No, 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 no. It has to go through the VP. So any line that goes through the VP, or it can't be any line because it ends there. We've already established that. So boom. And then this has to travel through that, but that won't go to the VP, and now my brain hurts. Oh. Wait. If I was going to pass through this and go right here, then I wouldn't hit this edge. But this would be square. Yes. So how could I make these two square? It means I would have to change the VP because we're allowed to put the VPs wherever we want. Okay, let's try one more time. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is probably trivial and I'm just thinking about it weird, but hear me out. We start with a box or the plane. We could do a box, but start with this. 3 inches. 4 inches. 2.5 inches. This is Witcher. Yeah. I think I said the exact same thing in the other stream or something like it. Okay. So now we do what we did before and we're like, hey, well, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to set the VP to be very, let's establish the VP. I was like, yeah, we want this one to not be very isometric. In this case, we're going to have to like work with the room on the page because we need to draw this out. We're going to say the VP is there. Cool. Do nothing else. Frick. We can't draw our horizon because we don't have another VP. Oh, but we do know that this needs to go here, right? Let's make that our green line. We know that this has to pass through. It has to go to that VP, no matter what. It's the rule. That's that. We know that this has to go off to the VP somewhere. We know that this has to go to the VP somewhere. And we know that the horizon line has to go to the VP somewhere. Is that enough? We have a line without an end, a line without an end, a line without an end. Does anything else go here? One line, two line, three line. This is orthogonal to this. Perpendicular, I guess I should say. Do we know anything else? I feel like this should be solvable, even if we don't have that VP. We know that this we'll call the red line. Goes somewhere. But right now we have infinitely many lines, but we shouldn't. There should be a finite line because this goes over there. This goes over there. This goes over there. What if we draw this? Well, then we could draw it like this, and it wouldn't be square. We started over here. True. Yeah, what if we just pick? What if we're like, hey, I'm going to pick a VP from here? Just randomly. Random VP. Well, no, because then we're deciding that. We're getting there. Maybe looking at this from this way will help me. We have to have a line. There's this. This connects to this. Connects to this. If we did a random line over here, it wouldn't matter. We just need to be perpendicular to it. So this, whatever angle, we just need to be able to draw a line that is perpendicular to it. It's going to look like this. Be looking at something like, yeah, this is like nice descriptive. And that creates a point that this needs to travel through. And that, what makes this square then? Trying to retrace our steps. Never mind, it's on the other side of this page. We start with a horizon. We set two VPs. And from those VPs, we can make anything square. This one, that intersection is already given. One of the VPs is already given. One of the points of intersection is already given. And I know that this line needs to be perpendicular to this one. Is there any like sacred geometry that we could do here to make this work? Make this make sense. Here, my intuition tells me this feels square, so we'll start there. The only perpendicular line that I could draw through this is right here, which means this misses the mark. This would have, if I moved this downwards, then I would have hit it. So in hindsight, the only way I could have hit it was being right here. Eh? But then that would have changed this? Okay, something's going on. I don't know. We're out of time. I want to figure this out though. This is great stuff. This is really good stuff. We got far. This is the learning. This is the figuring stuff out. I'm gonna do some Googling, some researching over these next couple days. Because how do you make a square? I can't even believe I've not like invested more time into that. So yeah, we're gonna do some independent studies. But for now, thank you everybody for watching. It's been a blast. We're gonna be streaming tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and we will not be streaming Friday. So once again, thank you all for joining, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.